TR6B is a modified Triumph TR6, and to date we've really only shown the modelling work that's been carried out, namely for the wide body, the exterior look of the car, but beyond that haven't really talked about it. The plan, the idea of TR6B is to design the ultimate TR6, and for that car to be our restomod offering from BaulyCars. And restomod is still the right word for the car, but it's really defined by three things, and they're the three things that I've been putting at the end of the render videos. TR6B, chassis, wide body, and lightweight. And those three things, they run as a theme through all the different aspects of the car, and you can take them one by one. I mean, starting with the wide body that has already been seen in the renders. The wide body, yes, it's about making the car look a certain way, of course, but it's the chassis underneath that is asking for more room, to get a different wheel and tyre package under the car, and to get a bit more chassis track width. So the chassis and the wide body are interrelated, and that also runs a thread through lightweight, that the wide body panels in carbon fibre together with the roof, the hardtop and the boot lid will give a significant weight reduction in the car. Now, the chassis for TR6B will be an all-new space frame chassis. It's really where the project started, to design an all-new chassis for the car. The original box section, planar frame of the original is replaced in its entirety with a space frame chassis. Of course, with a change in torsional stiffness from the new chassis, which will really change how the car feels to drive and ultimately how it handles. The new chassis allows us to do a number of key things. It allows us to, first and foremost, reset the static ride height of the car, so we can revisit the relationship between where the bottom of the chassis is versus where the centre line of the wheels lie, and where the body shell is then sitting. And really that's to reset or put back into the chassis the lost articulation and the unwanted change on the control arm angles that happen when you lower a TR6 from its stock chassis geometry. We're also introducing a full double wishbone setup at the rear, which I'll talk more about. The original car has a trailing arm with originally an Armstrong lever arm damper. You can use telescoping dampers, but it's a bit tricky to do and bring some other compromises to it. But the new chassis allows us to have a complete box out here that will house more robustly the diff, along with the new double wishbone control arms, and on all four corners a more conventional spring and damper setup, coilover setup ideally, so we can fine tune, of course, everything from spring and damper rates to ride height, which is a little bit tricky to do on the original car. Now, with the wide body work largely complete for the exterior look of the car, Neil McLaughlin, our automotive illustrator, is now moving on to the interior work of the car, and I've shared some initial ideas with him on changes we'd like to make on the inside of the car. One of the spoilers that I will, I'm sure, giving an update on in due course is to try to lower the seat a little bit in the car, and we're going to be doing that in conjunction with the chassis. On the original car, this is a TR4 frame, but it's the same principle. You have a diagonal that runs, you can just see it here, under the seat, so you can't necessarily lower the seat on a stock TR6. But with a new chassis, we can avoid that area and allow us to locally have a depression in the body shell and get the seat down of the driver and the passenger a little bit more hunkered down in the car, and just improve the ergonomics and give you a bit more room in the car fundamentally. Now, engine and drivetrain, of course. The engines for TR6B, we're talking to Race2Rations in the UK about building a road-going version of one of their competition spec motors. I won't give the game away on the spec for that engine just yet, but I'll give an update on that in due course. Should be pretty special. The gearbox, we're looking at options from the original 4-speed, a competition-derived version of the 4-speed, with or without overdrive, and of course some 5 and 6-speed options as well, so stay tuned for that. So that's TR6B. I hope that gives a better idea of what the car's all about. I will carry on giving updates on the design progress of the car. If you are interested to find out more about TR6B, do of course get in touch. We are going to be offering the wide body panels as a separate product line as well, so if you're interested in those for your TR6, do get in touch on those too. Beyond that, stay tuned. Stay TR6B tuned this time. Cheers.